like Western thinking is more about, pitting ideas against each other and sort of directly confronting, something and hashing it out. And it seems like Eastern thought has a bit of a different approach on it. How do you, because you're pretty well schooled in both of them, where's the convergence point?
Yeah, the convergence point is in dialogue between different schools of philosophy. So like in the West, for example, in modern philosophy, which we think of modern as today, but actually modern philosophy is like in the 1600s and the 1700s. There was a really big dialogue between the empiricists who believe that reality and truth could be found through your five senses. And then there was the rationalists like John Locke, who said that truth is actually kind of embedded in your mind, and you just have to rediscover it. Through that dialogue, I think a lot of philosophy flourished in the West. And then the East, for example, in Hinduism, you have Advaita, which means non-dual, and like those tend to be Brahmins, which is kind of more the high class of India. And then you have the Dvaita, which would be dual, between me and God, right? There's a difference between my true self and God. That's been a dialogue in India for a long time, because Hinduism is actually known as the oldest world religion, or it's of the large religions, it's the oldest. And that conversation of the nature between God, which is Brahman, and then Atman, which is the I am, not really the person, but just the sense of I am. It's actually translated as soul. The Atman is translated as your soul. So like the debate is like, is your soul the same as God, or is there a distinction, right? So non-dual means it's the same. My soul is, it's not like 100% all-encompassing God, because ultimately you realize that like, oh, I'm not the soul even. That's another topic, but the idea in Advaita oneness, non-duality, is that the soul is God, and then duality is the soul is different and unique from God, or separate from, and so that was a dialogue in India. So I think the nature of philosophy is dialogue, no matter what country you're in. And that's, you could call it philosophy or even culture. Culture comes from dialogue between passionate people. Even like in the art scene between painters, there maybe be some competition between two different styles or two different sub-styles, and seen as like, oh, this art form is better or this art form is better. But by each individual trying to portray how they see art or even the world, because those two individuals were in dialogue between their paintings, that's what developed culture. And that's the same in philosophy, and same in religion, and